Okay, guys and gals, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about tires. I currently, these are the OEM tires here. This one is the IRC's front. This is the IRC rear. These are the Motaz Rallies tractionators, which I currently have on the bike. These are new. This is the rear. And then I just bought the Dunlop D606 front and rear. And if you could see the difference here between tread lugs, they're almost the same. The Motaz is sort of staggered compared to the very tight staggered lugs on the IRCs. And then the Dunlops are a little more beefier, heavier duty. They're more stiff. They're about the same stiffness, but these are definitely more stiffer, and it also has a harder sidewall. These have 600K on it before I change them to the Motaz Rallies. And the front on the IRCs are very good if you want to do predominantly road, not too much trail riding. These work really great because they're like a 70/30 tire. But the problem is the minute you hit mud, they don't clear very well and you slip and slide, especially the front does not clear at all. It stays packed until you get up to really fast. Whereas the Motaz, they really do a good job flipping out the mud. So since I've already run about 3,600 kilometers, 3,800 kilometers on my Motaz, today I'm going to swap the Motaz out because in my opinion, I think they're pretty much finished. I'm going to put on the Dunlop D606 with my tire spoons. I have a subscriber and also a friend now that we ride together. He wants to see a video of me putting the D606 on with spoons as opposed to going to the shop. These here right now are the Motaz tractionators, or sorry, Rallies tractionators that are currently on the bike. And as you can see, the profile is really worn down. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I just wanted to ride the street, these would be fine. But the minute I'm on trail riding, I have very little traction in mud, and that's not going to do very good for me. And on the front, hopefully you can get it, they're really scalloped. So I'm going to swap these out too and get rid of them. I mean, there's a lot of big lips here going up and down. It's probably me heavy braking, or it's a lot of road use. So let me come back, take these tires off the bike, and then we'll see if we could get those D606 on with the tire spoons. Stay tuned. Okay, I've removed the front tire and we'll proceed here. And once again, what I try and do here is I try and use all the tools that I bring with the bike that goes in the little toolkit compartment. So basically I have a rim lock. This is the preload adjustment for the Rally Raid front shocks. 10 millimeter, 14, 12 millimeter, a little screwdriver with also the valve stem remover. A small little 6-inch adjustable wrench, various the Allen keys I require for the removal of panels and whatnot, and the 14 millimeter hex key to remove the front axle. Also here I have a little Motion Pro biker's toolkit. It has all the sockets and accessories to work on your bike in metric, and I do think they sell it in Imperial, but since the Honda is metric, everything's metric. I do have a small bottle of Loctite with my bike, but I'm not going to use this one since it's open. There's no point in using my little tube that's in the bike already. So when we come up to the bike, since it was already balanced, I'm going to remove the weights from balancing the last time. You're going to remove the rim lock, which I have a video where I installed this. I'll put a link in the panel so you can click on that if you're interested on installing installing the rim locks and also balancing the wheel. I'm not going to go into balancing the wheel since I already have a video about balancing the wheel. And I'm just going to try and show that it is possible to remove these tires with regular spoons, and hopefully that's going to work. So we will get back to you as soon as I get my spoons out of the bike, and we'll take this off and try and get the first one out. Plus, with these tires on a nice sunny day, if you could slap them out in the sun to heat them up, that'd be great. So that's the next step I'm going to do, is put my D606 out here in the sun. It's about 28 Celsius, which is probably 80 something Fahrenheit, right? So the heat of the sun should soften up that rubber to help the installation a lot easier. So I'll get back to you once I'm at this next step. Okay, so I've removed the old weights. I've removed the valve stem nut, 12 millimeter key. So that's gone. It's in my set. GP key that came, I think, with my Honda snowblower. And I've also loosened up the rim lock. I don't have to take it all off. I just need clearance. I've removed the valve stem. I forget the name of these. Anyway, valve to let the pressure out. And then the next step we're going to do here is the bead is pretty much broken anyways because it's a tube tire, inner tube tire. So that will be easier, and then we'll try and get it off. This will come off a lot easier. The Rally Raid is not Rally Raid. The Motos Tractionator Rallies is a very easy soft sidewall tire, and I popped these on and off many times doing certain work on the bike, putting in the rim locks. It was so easy to put these tires with a soft sidewall. The trick will be the D606. So we'll get back to you in a second here once I'm set up to pop these tires. Okay, so here we are. We're all set up here. I'm just basically blocking the side of the bead off with my hands here with the tire. This here, the air is out of the inner tube now, so that's loose. Here's the rim lock. You want to make sure this is loose and flexible, that you can put it in and out. Usually I'll do that last. So what I'll do is these are the Motion Pro spoons. Comes with the rear and axle nut on it. And that way, if I want to remove my rear tire, I have all the tools to remove the rear tire completely. So we'll just using these little spoons, I'm hoping to do the job. If not, then I do have larger bead breakers from Motion Pro. You can see the difference in size and leverage, right? So these I bought for my GS along with my Nomar tire changer. I work on that with these spoons here. So if I cannot do the D606 with these, that means I'd have a hard time on the trail because these wouldn't be enough. I'd have to bring these along with me. But we're going to start off with the smaller spoons and see how that goes from there. Oh, it just doesn't want to grab it. This is what I like to use the brake the brake disc as a lock point when you're using your spoons. And I could put my rim lock, not my rim. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way, my friends. Of course, I just put the tire back on. I like to put these on just for the fact that while I'm working it around, maybe I don't need it. No, I don't need it. So you can see how easy the Motos Rally Tractionator is with just these small spoons. And at a certain point, you could just pull them off by hand. That was easy. Now let's push the inner tube in, get that out of the way. Always a pain in the ass. There we go. This is a heavy duty inner tube. Seeing if it's how bad it is. It's in pretty good shape. It's not too rusted, the stem area. I've had this on now a year. I changed them out to heavy duty tubes from the original OEMs, which are a thinner wall rubber. So these are in pretty good shape. So I'm going to put this right back on and not worry about it. Now we're going to do the same thing here. Pop that in there and use that as the brake lever. If you're lucky, there we go. Just had to pop it a bit. Very easy. So that tire is gone off. You could see some of the wear on it. So I always change my tires in spare pairs. I really don't care if there's meat left on it. Now you have the rim here with the rim lock. So when you're installing the tire, I like to start on the rim lock side to install one side, because that way it's a little easier to get under the gap here with the bead, instead of starting on the other side and then trying to fool around with trying to get the bead on top under the rim lock here to tighten up. And I've seen people put the rubber band over the rim lock, so that way you don't get a pinch under the rim lock on your tube. So I like to do that as well. And it's always good to inspect the rim as you go around, make sure it's okay. Everything seems to be good. I did true it the last time, so it's still good. So now here's the fun part. We're going to try and put on the D606 with the same spoons. I've had the tire out in the sun for the last 15 minutes, so hopefully it's soft and we'll give it a try. Right, okay, so I was just verifying here. I don't know if we can get that on camera, but the front tire on the D606 is rotational. So it's going this way, the arrow. So we got to make sure that we're going to put this on the right sense. The rear tire, I checked all over it. It is not directional. So that way you can put it on any side you want, and it's going to perform the same way. So this here, we're going to make sure it's going to go on the right way. So the brake caliper is like this on the bike with the rim. I'm sorry if I don't have the shot. Let me try and get the camera up a bit here. There we go. So that's how it sits on the bike. And the rotation mark is this way. So this is how we're going to put it on the bike. And I'm going to work on the brake rotor side, rotor side. So therefore, it's going to go exactly like this. So hopefully I don't forget. So we'll give this a try now, and hopefully we could prove my friend Steve wrong, that I can actually get a tire on with the D606. Next step is to find the dot. So whoop. Here's the light side of the tire. Most tires are marked blue, yellow, red. That point is where you're supposed to put the valve stem, because the valve stem's heavier than everything else. Now, I could put that on, which I'm thinking of doing at the rim lock, since the rim lock is much heavier than the valve stem. That way, maybe I could get away with a little less weights. So this will, I think, I'll put at the rim lock instead of the valve stem. And then we're just going to make sure that our rotation is going in the same way again. So rotation's here. This is going to go this way. Here's my rim lock. Here's the yellow dot. So I'm going to just line this up right here with my rim lock. There we go. And now the real fun starts. So this is where this little gadget comes in. Handy-ish. But I'm going to see if I could just work my way around. Now we'll just try and take little bites and see if this tire will be cooperative. So far, so good. Well, I guess this is where you need body weight. All right, let's try it this way. Little bites. Problem is, yeah. Let's try it over here. Oh, she's snug. There we go. So one side's on. Rim lock is loose on that side. So now's the chore. And got the yellow dot right at the rim lock. That's pretty much on there, so that's a good snug fit. That's good, good, good. Next step is to install the inner tube. Now this is a godsend. Whoever designed this is a genius. You screw this into the valve stem hole where the valve goes. You pass it through the rim, then thread it into your inner tube stem, and it helps you pull the stem through your rim as opposed to trying to get in with your fingers and rack all your knuckles up. So we're going to do that. Let me just set this up and we're going to go back. But this is actually great, a great little tool. I keep that with me all the time. A lot of comments say it's not very strong, but you're not supposed to like yank it. You're supposed to use it as a guide to help you get the valve stem in. So, you know, it is what it is. Plus it has the a remover as well on the tip right here. If, we could see it. Oh, there we are in camera here, sorry. So pretty cool. All right, let me set that up. Right, so basically I fished the puller through the rim. Now we're going to take it, just thread it into the valve. New rubber is always so stiff to try and get stuff in. There we go, pop that around. Right, let's get that underneath, there we go. And that's how easy it is using this tool. I don't know if you can see it, sorry. Bad camera angle. But right here, you pull it out, and then what I normally do right away is I unscrew it and put the nut on loosely. Just to keep it in place so it doesn't pass through again. And then I'll tuck in. Some guys put talcum powder on, but I've never had a problem to date putting the tube in, drawing like this. Now we're getting to the nitty-gritty area with the rim lock. Just make sure the tube is tucked nice and easy all the way around. Which it is. I will now put the valve back in. Valve's locked in place. And just to make sure, this is a nice little USB pump I picked up on Amazon. I don't think they sell it anymore. They were having some problems. I know my neighbor bought one and he had some problems with it, but I haven't had a problem with it. The only thing I've had issues with sometimes is the pressure transducer goes off, but there's a method to calibrate it when you just hold plus and minus together with the power on, and it resets it to 0. So you're able to reset your power, the pressure transducer, and you're good to go after that. So since it's a USB, you just turn it on. I already have it set to 22 psi, but I'm not going to pump that up now to 22 psi. I'm just going to add a little bit of air. Make sure the tire is seated properly. That should be enough. Might be a little too much. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I think it's a little too much. So I'll take some air out. I want it hard. There we go. I want it soft to touch, but inflated. That's it. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. And at the same time, I just want this snugged up. Make sure it's sitting in straight. People have all their ways, but this is the way I do it. That way, when I'm inflating the tire at the end, it's going to be square to the opening of the hole. And I know it's seating properly. So that's 12 millimeter. There's a video I watched on a gentleman's channel that there's many different ways to put the nuts on, but I keep it basic. One nut on the inside, one nut on the outside. Some pro racers, I'm not a racer, they leave it loose or they put two on the top, so that way if the inner tube does move a little bit, it could give, but I really don't go below 12 psi when riding, just for the fact. There we go, that's all tightened up. Now the fun part, to put the second side on. So this process is going to be the exact same for the rear, so I'm not going to bother videotaping the rear. I'm going to try and keep this video short as possible. So like I said, I like to put the rim lock on the side first. So let's get the spoon here just to pop her over without hitting the tube. So that's what I like. See, now the way I see it is the tube is going to get pinched. There we go. So I push up on the rim lock that pushes the tube. That allows me now, whoop, I didn't want that to happen. That allows me to move along the tire. Wow, okay. Definitely stiffer rubber here. There we go. I can see the tube is just slightly there. There we go. I don't want to have this tube pinched. This stupid thing. Wow, okay. So this tire is making me a liar. All right, I got the bead lock right where I want to have it. There we go. Now we could just work our way around a little bit at a time. take little bites. The smaller the bites you use, the easier it's going to go. Question is how it's going to be over there. That's another question. We'll do it this way now, since I'll use my body as some weight. As we're getting down to the nitty-gritty part. Wow. I may have to put this on the ground. Wow. This is going to be interesting to finish this off. I might need the bigger spoons for sure. Yeah, I might need the spoons. The big spoons, because look at the gap I have here to stretch. Maybe I could try and get this down into the center, so I get a little more rubber here. If not, I'm gonna have to put some blocks. We'll see if these work. This is what I have to use for the BMWs. I put some blocks. Since a BMW rim is so shallow, it has no give. And this is such a narrow rim. I see what the issue is. And I think my blocks are too big to go in there. Yeah, works great on a BMW. Wow. Okay. I think I'm going to have to put this on the ground and use my bigger spoons, because there's no way I'm going to get this on with these little 8-inch spoons, it looks like, unfortunately. So definitely do not get a flat on the trail with the D606. You should carry some tire foam or goo, tire gunk, to fill up your inner tube. So let's give it a try. Well, that's all I needed to do, is put it on the floor and 2 pops with the bigger spoon, and she went in right away, no issues. So those little spoons on the trail are definitely going to be an issue, that's for sure. Definitely. All right, so basically that's on now, and just got to make sure it's set. You could feel the sidewall is so stiff compared to the Motors. It's crazy. So yeah, you'd have a challenge, but you don't get a flat on the trail. Or like I said, put some tire stop in here for your inner tube. But that's the way it goes. So Steve, here you go. I just put on a D606 with spoons. Not the trail spoons, but I did it with the spoons. So that's no issue at all. So I hope this helps a little bit with the Dunlop D606. And I will balance it with my Tusk tire balancer, and I have a video for that. And the rear tire is the same way. It might be a little easier, might be a little harder, but the rim is a lot wider, so you've probably got a lot more throat in the rim to put the tire down to get the tire back on. So I think that's going to be okay. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next video.